My name is Adam, and I'm a software engineer from San Francisco, California. I am 33 years old, with a steady job and a comfortable life. I've always been the type of person who plans for everything, not just for the big stuff like retirement, but for everyday things too. I've always believed that being prepared financially and emotionally is the best way to live. I want to tell you a story about how that way of thinking helped me navigate a difficult period in my life. My story begins with my wife, Olivia. We met when she was 29, still working a retail job while she was finishing up her fashion design degree. What I loved most about Olivia was her ambition. She had this incredible drive and a vision for building her own fashion brand from the ground up. I respected her for that, and I did everything I could to help her succeed. For the 6 years we were together, 4 of them married, I was her rock. I helped her pay off her student loans, covered our rent when her business wasn't doing so well, and I even invested about $80,000 of my own money into her startup. She had big dreams, and I wanted to be a part of them. I wanted to believe in her as much as she did. At first, she wasn't manipulative. She was just an optimist and terrible with numbers. I was the numbers guy, and she was the creative mind. We were a perfect team. I thought I was the one who handled all the boring stuff like making sure our bills were paid on time, our taxes were filed, and our credit scores were in good shape while she focused on building her dream. About a year ago, Olivia had the idea of buying a house, a modern place, with big windows in a nice, quiet neighborhood. She wanted the house to be in her name. She told me she wanted to own something that was completely hers. I understood her need for symbolism, but I still made sure we did everything correctly. The loan was in both our names, and I had some legal protections in place for myself, not because I didn't trust her, but because I never take big risks without a safety net. Then, 6 months ago, things started to change subtly. She was going to more work events, and her weekend girls' trips were leaving at odd times and coming back later than expected. She bought new clothes, but never wore them around me, and she would quickly tilt her phone screen away from me whenever I got close, I noticed, but I didn't say anything. I am not the jealous type. We grew distant, we stopped eating dinner together, and our conversations became shorter. Our physical intimacy faded to almost nothing. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. Then one night, we were eating a simple dinner. She put her fork down and said it as if she was talking about the weather. "I'm in love with someone else." I finished chewing my food, took a sip of water, and looked at her. She wasn't angry or upset. She seemed relieved. I just said, "Good to know." That was not the reaction she expected. I think she was ready for a huge fight or for me to cry, but I just stood up and started clearing the plates. She watched me, confused for a minute, then said she thought we should take some space. She said she would stay with a friend, and I told her that was fine. What she didn't know was I already knew about the other guy. She met him at a photography workshop a few months ago. I had accidentally seen some of their texts when she left. Her laptop open, she called him a rare kind of soul who truly saw her. I never reacted to the texts, I just waited, and that night after she left with her overnight bag, I sat down at my desk and got to work. The house was completely silent, just me and my laptop screen. I started with the house. I made a call to our broker the next morning and removed my name from the loan application. She didn't qualify for the loan on her own, so the pre-approval was withdrawn by noon. Then I dealt with the startup money. I had paperwork that allowed me to withdraw my investment at any time, and I did just that. I sent notices to her vendors, and within 24 hours, the funds were gone. Production for her fashion line stopped immediately. Finally, I logged into my company's benefits portal and removed her from my health insurance. The change was effective immediately. I wasn't angry at this point. I just felt calm. By the second night, her friend texted me asking if I had heard from Olivia. I said yes, but didn't offer any more information. By the third day I had moved out. I didn't slam the door or leave a note. I just packed my bags, forwarded my mail to a P.O. box, and found a short-term rento on the other side of the city. She wanted space, and now she had it. That same afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go. to voicemail, and when I listened to it later, it was him, her, new guy. The photographer's voice was cracking. He said that things were getting too serious. Too fast, that Olivia was spiraling and crying all the time. He asked if I could talk to her, or take her back for a little while. I didn't reply to him. That evening, she showed up at my old place. I had a security camera, and watched her on my phone. She was wearing her favorite hoodie, crying on the front porch. Eventually, she left a few hours later. I got a text from her saying she made a huge mistake and that he wasn't who she thought he was. She said he thought her business was dumb and that she missed me and our routines. I knew there was nothing left to fix. The next day she tried calling me again and again, but I didn't answer. I got a long email from her saying she was confused and thought I would always be there for her. I think it's funny how people only appreciate you when their backup plans fail. It wasn't just the cheating that hurt me. It was the months of her pulling away. The fact that she was already auditioning my replacement, while I was still trying to build a future with her. When she found out about the house, she showed up at my new place again. I didn't open the door. I just watched her through the security camera. She was shouting and crying, saying, "You're trying to ruin my life," but I didn't do that. I just stopped funding the version of her life where she was using me. She tried to reach out to our mutual friends, but I just told them the truth a few weeks later. I heard from her former business partner that her startup had completely failed. 2 months after that, someone told me she had moved back in with her parents. I moved into a smaller place, got a dog, and started hiking. I never posted about her on social media. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted to stop pretending. I was okay with being treated like a safety net while she chased a fantasy. People say what I did was cold, but when someone tries to end a relationship while assuming you'll still be there to catch them, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is let them fall.